Hey everybody, how's it going? This is just a quick video of the much anticipated V-Leds V3 Tritons. Currently I have four different pairs. I've got two switchbacks, one pair of switchbacks and two pair of red LED V3 Tritons. I only have one pair of reds here to show you and one pair of the switchbacks because there's no need to look at both, and the reds are currently in another car right now, one of the pairs. So I'm just going to go over some quick things about it, some things that you guys might should know, looking at some of them in close. Some of you guys that might be interested or don't know how these are supposed to be wired up or anything. And so when you get the shipment in, they will come in a box, and usually a box like this will come in that's got some, you know, some stuff. You can't really see it right now because it's all in the technical type packaging, but they're just like spacers, heat shrinking, some screws, and these, which are the big part of it, which make sure if you guys get these are not missing, and that are the ends of the that plug into these pretty much. I can't know what they're called, just the plugs. I don't know, the whatever type of base adapter you get. Like these are 3157s, 3156, pretty much the same, except for it's just got one prong and not two. If this is gonna focusing on everything but this. There we go, a little bit better, but you know, 7443, 7440s are gonna be this. So when you're choosing on V-Led's website of what type of base, you're just talking about this little 3-inch section right here that has the base of what your current bulb is right now. And for me, for our car, my Dodge Journey, it's a 3157s. Nah, I'm completely wrong with the 7443. These are 3157 ends. 7443s are a little bit smaller, I believe. And when you get the Triton, the switchbacks, these ones right here, you get these two sheets that tell you how to install them with the circuit loading system and the power box. I'm thinking they don't really tell you what they are, but I'll get to that in a minute. And when you get the reds and the switchbacks, no matter what, you're always going to get this sheet. This sheet just has a logo on the back, well, on the front, and then the back is really important. The first time I installed the reds, the red V3s, I didn't read this fully through, and that was a mistake, because it says for the 44 really closely. If you look, it says for the 7440s and the 7443s that you should insert the screws without the collar. And for the 3157s that I've got, so you're supposed to install this little collar right here. If you see the difference, this one does not have a collar, and they're just putting the screws right into the screw holes, and this one has a collar with the screws in it. And I'll show you all this in detail in a little while once I'm done looking over this. And that was what I forgot was really important, because it just didn't fit, and then I was really frustrated because it was really sloppy, really loose on the inside, and that's what she said. But then I read this over again, and I saw the collar, and it made everything a whole lot easier. And you also have these. This right here is an adjusting collar that tightens the adjusting bulbs, which is a real new big thing with this bulb, is that you can adjust the focus area in these bulbs. They're not really bulbs, but the LEDs that you can really focus in the reflectors, the most bright and best output for these bulbs. And then when you get that, it might take a few minutes, you can screw it on tight, and then it won't move. And you also get these seal adapter spacer things, rubber, I don't know what else you really call them. They've got them marked in here with different names and things. Sealing collars, they've got just like a irregular bulb this thing would plug into. It's got a sealer on there so no moisture can get into the headlight. That's what those play a role as. But anyway, getting to the other instructions that came with it. This is a circuit loading system right here. CLS for circuit loading system. And I have got 4 pairs, so they sent me the 20 watt bulb, which is right there because I've got 2 front and 2 back. But if you're just using 2, just like for your front turn signals or your rear turn signal brakes, you're going to have to install a 35 watt bulb. So that's got more, I think it's for resistance. I mean, that's what you're supposed to put on cars. If you don't have these, you're supposed to put, you know, those resistors in there, put them into the lines, and that can get real messy, which is really nice with these because you can just plug them right in between where the 2 go, and you're pretty much set. And for this, is what came with the switchbacks, is pretty much the same thing, but since the switchbacks demand more power and they have to switch between amber and white, it requires a little bit more power and such, and because since these are so bright, I'm not kidding you at all, that they are being required by law to put a selecting wire on there that if you want, you can attach it to your headlight bulb, your headlight wire, so that it dims the white LEDs by 50%. So what it says right there on that little section. But what this is telling you to where to put the switchback wires, their little inline circuitry work. And then if you were using a circuitry loading system on top of that, it also shows you how to do it. So it's real easy, real plug and play type stuff. And I'm going to show you this, how it's supposed to be, in a few seconds here. But just a quick look at that. If you guys want to read any of this, just pause it. So, okay. Here are my... Let's go to the red first. So I was telling you about how you can adjust this, right? Well, you've got the bulb here, the LED. And if you can see that there's 3 yellow dots right in the middle on the inside. You can't really see it with the camera because it's not focusing right. And, oh, it just had it. But you can kind of see the 3 right there, right there, right there, and right there. And those are the red LEDs. And now if I compare it to a white, you can see how there's quite a bit more. There's white, and then amber, white, and amber. There's 3 of each for the switchbacks. And for the red, there's 3. And I think it'd be kind of nice, who knows, maybe future, that they might put 6 red LEDs in here for brake lights instead of just 3, and fill them up. Fill all the spaces in there for LEDs up. You know, it might just make it a little bit brighter. Who knows, they might have tried that and it's just not working right. But for the adjusting, right, say you put it in there and you put the the collar goes on right here. Right, I can't really see it because it's black on black, but there's holes, you can see them kind of going by. And depending on your base, there you go, you can see them pretty well right there, that you're screwing it into, you put the screws core lining in with where the knobs on a regular, and where your sockets are in your cars, little tabs. And with the case with my car, you had to put the collar on there. With most of them 443s or 7440s, you're going to have to do that. If you don't, it's just not going to fit right, like I found out, and you're just going to be really frustrated really quickly. But once you get that set and you test it with the collar, the seal collars, then you've got to turn them on. This is part that honestly gave me a headache. They're so bright, these red ones were, in the other car I put them in. Is that you've got to keep on looking, you got to put it in, and then you've got to adjust it, the length of how far in you want the LED to reflect off the reflectors. And with mine, it was lucky I didn't have to lengthen it at all. It was the best right at, you know, all the way screwed in like this, so that it didn't give me trouble at all, because I just put it in there and it was fine. But some people, you're probably going to have to screw it out, and then you're going to have to mark how far along this base is, where you're going to have to adjust a corresponding one, so you don't have 2 of them off. You know, have one reflecting distance and the other one another reflecting distance. And then once you get, say, this level, you put this base on, which is also the screw type. two hands here, one hand here. I mean, come on, buddy. Okay, there we go. So if you want it there, just for show, then you screw this one in. You're gonna have to use two hands to get it really tight. And if I was to use two hands and got this tight, this will not move. It won't spin at all. It'll be tight on there, and it won't budge at all. And then you'll be set. You just put that in there. You put on your corresponding base connectors. Like this would be coming out right about here, and that's what it would be like for your tail lights, most likely, since these are red, and like how mine are. And yep, then you'd be good. Then you just do the other corresponding one the same way, same exact thing. Pretty simple for the reds, for the base, or I mean brake lights, or some cars like my older car has a relay that you pull out, and then you put an LED relay in there, and it's a lot lower. It's looking for a lot lower voltage than the incandescent one is, because an incandescent relay is looking for a lot higher power going through the relay. And if you put an LED bulb in, it's just going to flash really fast for your blinkers, and that's what these are supposed to prevent, since our Dodge Journey is all done through computers, and a lot newer cars, newer than 2000 generally, even some older GMs and like Lexus, Toyotas, a lot of luxury cars older than that even had the computers running it. But my other older car, which is a Dodge Stratus, didn't. I just pull out the thing, the LED flasher, and I like that a lot better because you don't have to run these things, which get really hot. Will get really hot no matter what. You're not gonna be able to bypass it unless you know some way to bypass these, and I would really like to know, because these get really hot. I was running these in my car probably about 3 minutes, just testing to make sure they look good, and I just went to pick this up, and it was pretty warm already, just about 3-5 minutes. Some people are not going to have a problem with that because you don't drive your car too long distance, but if you're driving an hour or 2 hours with your lights on, and those lights are on, your parking lights are on, since these function as parking lights, this will probably get really hot, so you're not going to want to mount this by any wiring, your headlight wiring, your battery wiring, your alternator wiring. You're not going to put that by there, because it is just going to get scorching hot, melt it. You're going to short something out. You're going to have to replace a fuse, something. You're going to replace wiring. Same with this. This one was not hot at all, so I'm really pleased about that. But to get into these a little bit, same thing. This plugs into your base of where your normal bulb would plug into, and then it comes out. This is the circuit loading system, which I was showing you in this. Plugs in exactly like it is on here. See, it's coming from the base in, then the out into the switchback LED lighting system dual color. They put dual color on here, so I'm guessing, I've already talked to some people at V-Leds that they're trying to make, they're already in the works of making a dual color LED fog light kit, like they used to have, but they pulled it after a month. They only had it on sale for a month. I was going to buy a pair, then right when I was going to buy a pair, they pulled it off the market. That was about 2 years, a year and a half ago. And when I was talking to them, they said they're already in the works. So I'm guessing it's just going to be these again, but with a different thing coming out of here, so that you can wire them into your fog lights, and then another wire probably you're going to have to splice into your turn signal wiring, so that when your fog light's on, your turn signal turns on, and then it flashes. Pretty much the same thing what this does. But anyway, back to this. Goes in, then out into this system here, which I already showed you. And since they're required by law now, because they are so bright, to be dimmed 50%, you pretty much for Canadian market, I think, I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on any of that. And this you attach to your headlight wiring, since this is your turn signal. This would be really close to your turn signals, your headlight wiring should be, so you're just going to have to somehow tap into that with this, and then you'll be good to go. Not sure if you're going to have to get one of those clamp taps, or probably just like what are those good ones called? Whatever, the ones that you spin in, and whatever, I can't remember the name of them. And then through there, just tap it into your bulb, and then, put the right connectors on there, the right collar, the right size, make sure it fits its make sure it's focused correctly, which you're probably going to have to spend a few minutes doing too. I know I'm going to have to for my Dodge Journey because the bulbs stick out pretty far from the inside for some reason, the way that the bulb sits in there. So I know I'm going to have to do that. But it shouldn't be too hard. And from what I am running the red in my car, so far I'm really pleased with the fact that they're instant on, instant off. They're ridiculously bright. Like I said, when I was putting those in my car and testing them, I just couldn't look at them for that long because it was giving me a pretty big headache, like either migraine. But it's pretty easy. I haven't put these in my car yet, both of them, and the LED taillights in the Dodge Journey. So these are going to go in the Dodge Journey for the brake lights. And the brake lights are also turn signals, and same with these. So I couldn't put these in without those because apparently with these, I'm not sure, I don't believe it, but that's what they're saying, is that with these, you're not going to have to put resistors on the back so that all of them should be switching and turning and blinking at a regular pace and not fast. But when I put these in my rear without those, about, oh man, I got these probably a month before I got these ones, because these ones are back ordered because of this, that they needed to put into the manufacturing process. They're hyper flashing, and I just had to take them out. And so when I was talking to one of the guys at V-Leds, he said I'm going to have to take one of these, unplug it from this whole system, and plug it into only one bulb. I think he said this is what I'm going to have to do. Pretend this is my front left of my car, my front right of my car, my right rear, and my left rear. Is that I'm going to have to put this one, take this one off, and put it right here into this bulb. So this would be connected to that, and then the base would be connected. And so he said you're going to have one on, I think he said, on each side and on opposite corners, I believe is what he said. So yeah, just like kitty corner of each other. And he said that should be fine. And with my experience with LEDs, since I've installed them in quite a few cars, is that if you don't have the flasher relay, you're going to have to install resistors on each bulb. But he said this is supposed to cure, you're only going to have them on 2. And you know, I'm taking his word for it right now, but I really hope it works, because this would be really nice, because my some of my places in the car just don't have enough room to put resistors, especially these resistors I've seen are tiny. They're probably about maybe this tall, about like where these lines are, and probably about half this wide, and maybe not even that big, you know. But these ones are huge, and hopefully that'll solve it. I mean, if they have to give up some space a little bit, so I don't have to put resistors on 2 of them, that would be excellent. But so far, tomorrow, I'm going to put them in my car, try to put them all in rough. Hopefully it'll work, and after that, put up a video again for you guys. So if you guys have any questions, comments, just don't be afraid to message me, comment on the video or anything. If you guys want to see another video, just comment, and I'll try getting in the installation process after my rough install to make sure everything works. And if it works, as I say, everything works right with only having 2 relays, not relays, resistors, that'd be awesome. So this is Burgundy 25. If you guys have any questions, like I said, comment. Thanks.